All right, so next question is, please help me understand these two verses.
Yes.
The person quotes, "You shall know them by their fruits." The second portion of scripture is, "Judge not, and you shall not be judged." Their question is not knowing them by their fruit equal as judging them?
No, it's not judging at all. A tree is known by its fruits. We are required to determine what fruit. For instance, you look at Galatians 5:19 to 21. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, obvious. You see, which are these? Adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like. The verse says they are manifest. It's obvious that's a sinful life. That's not judging. That's just seeing the obvious. From 22 to 23, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. We have two sets of outward expressions. One, the carnal nature. Two, the converted nature. You must be able to recognize one from the other. That's not judging. That is acknowledging that sin, that's righteousness. Now, 1 Corinthians 6, verse 1. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to court before the unjust and not before the saints, meaning a Christian should not sue a Christian. That's what Paul is saying to the believers. Why do you go to court? Go to the church and have the thing settled. Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by us, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Verse 3, know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that apply to this life, pertain to this life? We must make decisions and make judgments. We can't judge the heart. We can't judge this. We can judge the behavior. That's why the church can exercise discipline. If the church cannot judge, it cannot exercise discipline. And the discipline must exist in the church, or the church cannot develop holiness. Them that sin, rebuke before all, that others also may fear. First Timothy chapter 5, I believe is verse 18 to 19. Them that sin, rebuke before all. But how do I know the person sinned? I have to make a judgment based on scripture. I judge your behavior. I don't know what's in here. God judges that. The church must make a judgment. If you've got a head elder who's always late, you've made a judgment. He's always late. You've made a judgment. You must make a judgment. But you're not determining who goes to heaven or hell. That's God's business. But you must know that's fruit, that tree produces that fruit, that's a banana, that's a durian or whatever. And you respond appropriately. That's not judging a person's conscience. Because if someone had judged Paul before he was converted, they would have said, this guy is going straight to hell. But they could judge his behavior. He was killing people, having them killed. We can judge that. We can't judge the heart, but we can judge the fruit.
Thank you. Next we have, is it right to honor a parent who does not fear or obey God? If so, how should one honor such a parent?